are back with a keynote from a speaker you already know. We know her, we love her. She always saves us whenever we want someone even more insightful and innovative in any kind of discussions. So it's our go-to expert. So we're going to hear a keynote about how AI can revolutionize retail. And the speaker is Diana Baiku, who is the co-founder at Adapter Robotics. Diana, welcome to the stage. And here are your microphone and a clicker.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So we'll be discussing a bit about AI in retail and how it can bring a lot of change in this field. First of all, a few things about me. I work at Adapta. I'm one of the co-founders, and this topic of retail and AI in retail is quite fun to us because we have two products. One of them is in the expo area, which you can see. It's a testing robot, Matt, and the other one is Eris. Eris being the robot for retail, powered by AI. First of all, before we go into the topic and discuss all the details, I want to be on the same page regarding the retail scene and how it has evolved over the years and what the situation looks like right now. So a few over 100 years ago, the model in the stores, it was quite common to be what we know as the counter service model. So basically what we consider today as a premium, you would go with your shopping list to the store and the clerks there will run around the store. They knew where all the products were located and they were making your shopping list, which you could take with you back home. And at the beginning of the 20th century, there was this retail chain in the US called Piggly Wiggly. And its founder thought of changing things because things were quite inefficient with the counter service model. And they introduced what we know today as the self-service model. And if you look at the right-hand side picture, you can see that it's pretty similar to what we know as a store nowadays. So we have aisles where we can walk with our shopping carts. The products are displayed on the shelves. And we can just take them and go to the checkout. Of course, that meant a lot of change from the previous model because from that moment on, the visibility mattered. The way the products were marketed mattered. The way they were placed and the way the stores were organized matter as well. So many things changed from that moment on. But the problem is that for over 100 years, the model remained pretty much the same. So nothing radical changed in what happened from that point on. Of course, once with the internet has become more and more popular, we saw some differences. We saw some improvements in a sense of online shopping. And the online shopping, it seemed like it peaked in the pandemic in 2020, where we could see an increase of over 40% in the online shopping usage. And at that point, any of us could have thought, well, that's it. That's the end of brick and mortar stores. We will go online and we will just live there happily ever after. But it seemed like that was not the case. When the pandemic ended, people started wanting to get back to the real experiences, to going in stores, feeling the materials, seeing the products. But there was a difference. We were not only looking for buying things, so getting our shopping carts, but also disconnecting from what was digital, meaning everything, every means in our lives. So increasingly, customers were looking for having more experience, like living meaningful experiences in stores and being engaged. And a big part of this meant that there was very little room for errors in that space. A concept that became more and more frequent in this context was the omnichannel. So what omnichannel basically means is that a customer can combine the worlds, can combine the digital world, like apps and the retailer's website, with the physical store, yeah, when they're shopping. And basically, they can go in store and get their products in the shopping cart and scan them as they go, so that they don't have to wait for the checkout line. But you can imagine that when things do not align between these two models, between the digital and the physical, things can get pretty confusing. So if you have a price displayed in the store and you see something else on your app when you scan the product, that can be quite irritating, confusing, and your confidence, like in your trust in the retailer, can even diminish. So there is a lot of pressure that is being put on the operational side. Yeah, the operational part. So the employees in store need to make sure that everything is displayed perfectly so that customers are not dissatisfied. This is a very intensive labor, because every check, the check that the prices are correct, the check that the products are stocked on the shelf and there's no gap, yeah, no products are missing, it's an intensive, manually done labor. Of course, employees nowadays are aided by technology, either by devices or by the retailers' own apps and mobile phones, but it still takes a lot of time. It's still prone to errors because, after all, the people who do this are only human and can focus for a certain period of time. So now is the moment to think, what can we do in order to utilize the technology that we have available, that we have built over the years as a humanity, and make sure that we bring efficiency to this world. Yeah, we need to take account of the time and bring more automation in the field of retail. Of course, aided by AI, and why not robotics. But before we discuss how we can address all these things and how we address it as a product company, I will want to have a quick overview of the many things that robots powered by AI can do in retail. And it can go from logistics and warehouses, where robots can pack things or track inventory and products, to clean the stores and ensure security as well. But the topic I will be mostly focusing on today, which is the field of our activity as well, is the in-store operational robots, the ones that help with the operational side. And now I will let a video play for a few seconds so that you get an idea of what can be done, and then we'll be discussing on each of the functionalities displayed there.
Meet Eris, the effective retail intelligence scanner. Powered by AI, Eris is the retail robot that's designed to help you solve in-store price and promotion discrepancies while eliminating customer dissatisfaction brought about by empty shelves and price tag errors. Eris's hardware architecture enables the processing of high-resolution images of the price tags and the product barcodes on the shelf. By extracting and analyzing relevant data, Eris identifies mistakes or inconsistencies between shelf and checkout prices, issues out-of-stock warnings, and reports the on-shelf availability by product type to help you better estimate the shelf emptying rate. To optimize the process even further, Eris uses built-in printers to stamp the correct labels in a flash, allowing it to replace price tags effortlessly and in no time. While scanning, Eris also collects data related to customer behavior and on-shelf restocking necessities thanks to its depth perception sensors and customized product detection algorithms. Eris uses the gathered information to estimate on-shelf availability for each scanned product and detect out-of-stock products. Eris doesn't require cloud support to function. All computations are executed locally, results are displayed on the integrated screen, and automatically delivered to managers and supervisors. Analytics data can be accessed and integrated with your already existing retail structure. Eris can function for a full shift on a single charge. When the shift is over, Eris is taken to its fast charging station, being up and running again in less than 3 hours. Eris frees your employees from tedious time-consuming activities and your shelves from pricing and stocking errors. It makes sure you never miss a sale opportunity and helps you grow your customers' trust and loyalty every day. Eris, the ultimate retail robot. By Adapta.
Good. So a lot of things have happened in that minute of a video. I will take them step by step and explain how things are being carried and what problems they solve. First of all, I was talking about the wrong prices. Yeah, the ones that can cause confusion, especially when we're comparing to a reference like an app. Well, we do this. You saw that one model is to have a robot like ours with lots of cameras, all the computations being done on the robot, and we look for labels. And we take the prices that are displayed, we read them, and we go ahead and see if that price is the actual one that will be used at the checkout. If that is not what is being displayed, then the label can be replaced. It is important here to note that there are many labels that a retailer can have from, I don't know, ranging from 2 centimeters to maybe 10 centimeters. They can have a combination of paper-based labels and electronic ones, and it's important to make sure that all of these are being detected correctly and they can be identified further and everything checked correctly, so other integrations for corrections are important. We do have an onboard printer for the paper-based ones, so that the employees, when they scan and they go around the aisles, they can also swap them. So it's an efficiency matter, let's say. Next, the inventory scanning. Maybe we all know the frustration when we go into a store and we see that the product that we wanted to buy, that we had on our list, is no longer available. We call this an out-of-stock case or a gap on the shelf. And this is only one of the cases that can happen in inventory. The other one is the fact that we want to estimate how much products we have, what is the percentage of products that we have on the shelf, and that would be the on-shelf availability. With all this information, it's important that it is being forwarded either to employees so that they can take action, they can go into the warehouse and bring the products on, or they can be sent to stock management systems. If the warehouse doesn't have the products as well, orders can be placed and so on. So it's more like a tracking functionality and making sure that the expectations regarding the way the shelf looks are being met. Next, the planogram compliance. You can think of the planogram as a sort of reference or reference image of how the shelf should look like and what the products, where the products should be placed on the shelf. And just a few days ago, when I was, I think on Tuesday, when I was leaving the conference here and I went to a store to buy some water, I saw some employees in the store I get into, and they had a tablet with a planogram of a shelf, and they were really struggling to zoom in on that planogram and take products out and make sure that the order is the correct one with the reference that they have. So automatic planogram compliance means that we form an image of the shelf once we while we go through the near the shelf, and we make sure that all the products that we identified are placed where they should be according to this reference. And one example of how we do this is how we construct a panoramic view of the shelf. So yeah, the operator is pushing the robot near the shelf, and we make this image step by step while we go. Now a few details of how all these functionalities can be achieved. In our case, we have a vision pillar, what we call a vision pillar on a mobile base that can be pushed by an operator, and the vision pillar has a lot of cameras. How many? Well, approximately 10 cameras are on our robot, and the cool part is that they produce around 68 gigabytes of data per minute. So we couldn't just operate, we couldn't process all that data if we were to send it to a cloud platform. So we chose to do all the processing on the robot itself. And that wouldn't be possible without the AI systems and the networks for processing those, of course, that are enabled by the GPU processing. The operator is shown at all times how they should behave while scanning. For example, if they should go faster or slower, if they should come closer to the shelf so that the prices can be read better. And they have an integrated screen on the handle where they are shown all this information. At the end of the scanning, all the, let's say, put together results that were taken from that session are sent to a cloud platform so that each session can be visualized individually. So we send only the relevant information. And that means a great improvement. From our experience, this process of scanning with the robot and correcting the errors, it's up to 15 times faster than normal manual audit performed by employees, with up to 2,600 labels being scanned, products scanned on the shelf, with, of course, higher accuracy than a human would have. And if you're still wondering why this option, why wouldn't you go for an fully automated version? It's because usually in engineering and in robotics, it's always about a trade-off between how much a solution costs and how much return on investment it will bring. A manually pushed solution, something that works together with employees, it's somewhere at the sweet spot between how much the solution costs, so the cost of the equipment, versus the labor cost, how much we pay employees to actually go ahead and do the work. This would be pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. If you want to discuss further on this topic, you can find us in the expo area. And thank you very much for your time.